Hey ladies, it's Arlene. I wanted to go over the Paperbag interactive page flap for your mini album. I did a tutorial on this along with another flap page, active mini album page. And as I was watching back the video, there was some confusion, and I had some of the papers inverted. So I wanted to go ahead and walk through the entire step of adhering this down so that you can actually see how that works. And this is the page that I'm talking about with my mini album. This is the Me Mariposa mini album that I just completed a day or so ago. These right here are the little paper bags from Michaels, the celebrated paper bags, and so they act as little pockets for tags and stuff. And it adds more journaling and extra space to your mini album. So let me go ahead and show you how that's done. Again, I'm using the celebrated paper sacks from Michaels. They're 16 in a pack, and these are the 3.5 by 2 by 6 3/4 inch paper bags. So you're going to need 2 of those. And this time I've noted which is the inner flap and which one is the outer flap, so you guys know. But the measurements of this paper bag by the time you fold it in is going to be 4.5, or the pages, I'm sorry, will be 4.5 by 3.5. Okay, and this right here is going to be the inner flap. So with the inner flap, let's go ahead and start off with that page, because on the outer flap, which is basically, when I say outer flap, that means this page right here. And then when I say inner flap, I mean this page right here. Okay. So with the outer flap, you're not going to do anything to it. You're just going to fold it in from where the bottom of the paper bag is. You're just going to fold it in once, and that's it. And because you want to get this fold going on right here. And I recommend using your bone folder to tighten up the folds, because the folds aren't very tight on the bags. So it just gives you a crisper finish on your pages. Okay, so that's done. That's the outer page. Now for the inner page, you do the same thing basically. Is here's the paper bag, right? So you take it and you fold it in and you score it with your bone folder so that you got some tight folds. Okay, so you see you got that fold going on right here now, because that's going to be what's going to be flapping. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom of the paper bag and fold it in and then just score it, because what you're going to do is you're going to cut off this bottom piece. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So you basically just chop off that bottom piece. Okay, so then you end up with pretty much like this little open paper bag, right? Okay, with the fold. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to make sure that this piece right here is all adhered tight, because you don't want that opening when you flap your mini pages open and closed. So I'm going to go ahead and use my quick dry Scotch adhesive, and you're just going to glue that shut. Okay, and you want to make sure these little pockets on the outside are also adhered down. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze that down. And I love this glue because it does dry pretty quick. It bonds paper to paper like instantly. So, okay, so now you have the inner flap. I'm just going to score it again here. Okay, so here's the inner flap. Now you just need to get a chipboard piece. And I'm using 4 by 6 on this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take some sticky strip on this flap here that's going to be adhering down to the chipboard. And you want to use sticky strip, so no matter how heavy that page gets with all the tags or whatever you're going to be embellishing it with, it's going to hold tough over time. Okay, so make sure you use sticky strip, especially, and you want to make sure that's as close to the edge as possible, because that's what's going to be holding on to the edge of your page, your chipboard. And then I just use my ATG for that little extra piece right there, because this part is the part that really matters. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I hope you can all see this, is just line it up against the edge and make sure there's equal space between, and I kind of just eyeball it. I don't measure it or anything. Okay. Alright, so basically it looks like that. Okay, so y'all see that? Okay, so that's the inner flap. Now the outer flap is basically going to adhere down like so. Okay, so this is the paper bag. Here's the T. Here's the fold. Okay, It's just going to adhere down like that. And then I'm going to be putting sticky strip on the back side of this, and that, and that makes the pocket for right here. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put down some designer paper. Get some of this stuff out of the way here. I'm going to go ahead and put down some designer paper on there. It tucks behind the pocket. You see that? So that way I don't have to worry about any white showing, like, because once this is adhered down, I can only really put it down like that. I hope that makes sense. So I am going to use my color box Hue chalk ink here, and I'm just going to ink up the edges real quick, because this is actually going to be for a finished mini album. So okay, so just finishing off the edges, and then I'm just going to use my ATG to lay this down. Okay. And then we're just going to line it up to the edge. And if you have a little bit of white showing, that's okay. You can edge it with your chalk ink later to finish it off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start adding my sticky strip. Okay, so this is what I told you is going to adhere down to the bottom page, to the inner flap. Okay, so I'm going to need to put sticky strip here, here, and here. And again, I like to use sticky strip so it holds tough over time. And I'm trying to do this pretty fast because I only have 10 minutes. And since I'm working with a page that I'm actually going to be using, I do want to make sure that it's going to hold tight or hold tough over time. Okay. So I'm just going to remove the strips here. Excuse me, I just kind of throw things all over the place when I'm scrapping. I'm sure many of you are like that too. I'm not very neat when I scrap. Okay, so now I'm just going to line up the pages on the edge and make sure it's pretty straight because your pocket's going to be crooked on the inside. Okay, I'm just going to kind of take a look. Yep, that's pretty straight. Okay, that's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere down the papers for the inside. And this measures 2 by 3.5. The paper I cut here is 3 by 2.5. I love these chalk inks. Aside from my Tim Holtz Distress inks, the chalk inks by Color Box are the only other stamps or inks that I use. I have some Memento inks, but I think I'm more of a Color Box type of person. See how there's a little bit of white showing there? That's okay. What you can do is just go in and use your chalk ink and just color that in so you can't even see it. Okay. Now one thing that you want to make sure you do too is you want to make sure you put some adhesive down, and I forgot to do that before I laid down my design paper, but you want to make sure you put some adhesive down on this so this isn't flapping around. Okay, like that. And then I'm just going to add another piece of design paper. Okay. And this is going to go on this white page that you see here. Oh, I only got a minute left, guys. Okay, let me see how fast I can go. Okay, so that basically goes down like so, and I missed it by a little bit, so I'm just going to... Okay. And then what you want to do once you got that done is just go ahead and use your bone folder. I just want to make sure I got it straight. Okay. Just use your bone folder and kind of tighten that down like that. Okay. And then what you can do, and I'm running out of time, is you're going to put this design paper on top of that, and this measures 3.5 by 4.5, and then the bottom design paper is basically 4 by 6, and it goes on like that. Okay, so there you have it. That's basically it. Again, here's the pocket, and then pockets here can fit a couple of tags, and then you have a photo mat there and more pages there. So thanks for watching. Bye.